You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, wanted to do a little podcast episode today, something a little fun, a little different. Having fun on our podcast is different, right? Because normally I'm just yelling at you guys, or you guys are yelling at me, right? Just having fun. That's funny right there. We're all in this thing together, trying to grow, trying to figure it all out, make more money, have a more successful business, make an impact out there, right? At the end of the day, that's what it's all about with your small business and my small business. Well, one thing that I did a little rant on a couple weeks ago was talking about door-to-door sales, the sales process, not selling. I've had some guys reference that recently on other podcasts, some folks DMing me back and forth saying they just love the human approach, the logical approach, the thinking about the sales journey and the sales process approach. You know, when you're doing hand billing, you're talking in person, especially at a commercial site or with a company, like those little details are incredibly important. So if you didn't check out that show, it was a Friday show a couple weeks ago. I invite you guys to check that out. What I wanted to do today is talk about closing, talking about scheduling work, and some of the best transitions that you can use in your lawn and landscape, snow business, your green industry career, or even just broadly speaking in sales, about how to close the deal. I've had a lot to say on this. What I'm going to do is actually phone a couple friends, a couple buddies, threw out some feelers. We'll see who actually picks up the phone. So it could be really fun or it could be really crickets today. But I think where a lot of folks struggle in the sales process is twofold. And maybe I'll rant a little bit on this on a bookend. But number one, throwing up too much information on the client. And then number two, as you might expect, just not asking for the sale. So my podcast episode that I did a couple weeks ago, the not selling is my approach, which I'm more of a value add, make friends, see how I can help you out in your life, not the used car salesman approach. I don't think that selling technique really works too well in this day and age. But you do have to, even with not selling, have to close. You have to lock it in. And maybe I'll give some tips and some suggestions about how I go about that towards the end of this podcast. We'll phone on a couple buddies and see what they got for their best selling tips and closing techniques. But if I had to quantify where most people are kind of dropping the ball, and this is a learned skill, okay, selling, some people are natural born salespeople for sure, personality-wise. But if you are not, and you've ever said, oh, I'm not good at selling, or I don't like the seller, I'm not a good salesperson. Dude, me neither. What I will tell you is that it is 100% a skill set. Now, I know that can be extremely frustrating, daunting. Maybe you just don't believe that, right? Like all the above when somebody says that when it talks about sales. But I will just tell you, the more you get your reps in, the more you do it, the hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of conversations that you have, you will build that skill set. You will build that muscle. You'll be able to dodge and weave. You'll be able to answer rebuttals, answer pushbacks, be able to navigate the sales process, the sales journey, and be able to close. And so I'll get into a little bit more about that here today. What I'm going to do here first is hear from today's show sponsors, right? Because we got to make sure we're paying the bills around here. But then after that, we're going to come on back, try to dial for a couple buddies, see what they're available. And I want to hear their best sales and closing line to sell a job or to sign up a new customer and get work scheduled. So without further ado, let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer, and we'll come right on back.
Winter is fast approaching, and if there's one thing lawn care pros know, preparation is key. Whether you're handling commercial or residential services, securing your snowplow contracts now is crucial. And here's the best part. Our contracts have just been updated. Locking in your contracts now stabilizes your winter income, letting you plan and allocate resources with confidence. Get immediate access to the Snowplow Contracts Bundle training program today at LaunchpreneurAcademy.com. Our updated structured contracts show that you're serious about delivering top-notch service. Whether it's a commercial property or a residential driveway, you're giving clients the peace of mind they deserve. And of course, stay ahead of the competition. With flexible contract options, per push or seasonal prepay, you'll be the go-to provider in your area. Serving large businesses or individual homeowners, we've got you covered. If you're ready to elevate your winter services, head over to Lawntrepreneur Academy and secure your updated snow plowing contracts now. And yes, they include free lifetime updates. Don't wait for the first snowflake. Get started today and make this your most profitable winter yet. Visit LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com, and we've provided a link in the podcast description.
I just got off the phone with Brian Fullerton. He called me up. He said, Keith Kelfus, we're doing the 2024 Lawntrepreneur Academy live Saturday, November 2nd in Novi, Michigan. And your name kept coming up, seeing if you wanted to speak, bro. So I paused and I said, what do you want me to talk about? That's a wrap. I'll see you there Saturday, November 2nd, Novi, Michigan. Go to LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com to get your tickets, and I'll see you live. It's going to be a banger.
All right, guys. Well, first off on the deck, we're going to call up Mr. Blake Albertson with B&B Lawn Care. Absolutely love hanging with best friends forever, my best bud, one of my best buds, Blake Albertson with B&B Lawn Care. I'm going to dial him right now while I'm talking about him, and we'll see if we can get him on the show and see what his best sales technique is. I'm going to have to cut out a little bit of this dial-in if somebody doesn't pick up, but we shall see. So here we go.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Mr. B&B, you are live on the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. How you doing, buddy?
The Brian's Lawn Maintenance Podcast.
Oh, your favorite show to listen to, right?
What's up, buddy?
Still top.
We're doing good, man.
That's like top 5 funniest lines I've ever had with you. I feel like every time I get off the phone with you, it's another funny line and another funny quirk that I love
a walking meme, I guess.
My life is a meme. Yours seems to be a meme, so it comes with the territory. Amen. What's up with you, man? Give me a 30-second update. What's going on in B&B's world?
Dude, just crazy busy. We've had a really dry last couple of months. Starting to cool down a little bit with weather, getting a little bit of rain, but really hitting aeration and overseeding hard, and then just trying to keep up our mowing. So, man, we're just kind of firing on all cylinders and awaiting a baby here the next few weeks.
Dude, that's so cool. My brother Adam and his wife Sarah, they're due like a couple days ago, bro. They're like, she's ready to pop, you know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you'll have baby number 3. They'll have baby number 2. Something's in the water for sure. So congrats on everybody making babies. But how's the house? You guys settled into the house and all that mess? Did you get Natalie's $10,000 window treatment figured out? I heard on your last podcast. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had to get some shutters in.
That's awesome.
Man, just got everything moved in. And, when you're doing that, you have kids and in a busy season of the business, it's like, dude, I just need to take a breather. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Unfortunately, every time I try to take my head up above water, a wave crescendos on and smashes me back under, so it's yeah,
pretty much.
It's pretty much 2024 for me. But anyway, I love it. Well, hey, let me do this really quick. I don't want to take too much of your time. You're busy individual, Mr. VIP. So I don't want to get an invoice for this 30-second call. So here's today's podcast topic. Is a couple weeks ago I did a podcast talking about how not selling is selling in the new economy. Like if you're a used car sales guy, that's not going to work on me, and it probably wasn't going to work on you. But if you're a value add individual, make friends, build a relationship, try to serve people. I think that's more of being an advisor, and people are attracted to that. Now, that being said, just to tee this up, not selling doesn't mean that you don't need to be good at closing, right? So here's my question to you, not a trick question. What is your best transition line or go-to line? Okay, I'm sure you're like, Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off, Brazilian jiu-jitsu for business here, right? Like, you know how to make the transition. You're playing chess with this, right? But for somebody just getting started in business, to go from somebody interested on a lead to a signed up customer, what is your best line or transition for both a landscape client and then a mowing client? What do you say?
Yeah. So here's the thing. For me, it's all about the way I go into these situations. where I just want to be the local guy, professional that's just trying to help, right? So like when somebody calls me regarding aeration overseeding, you know, we're not even talking about, am I going to do it? What's it going to cost? It's what is my process and how is it going to affect your lawn? And then they see how like in depth I go with this because I truly care about making that lawn better. And they're like, okay, well, how much is it going to cost? Or just get me on the list. You know, like we have clients now that we've serviced over the years. We've been mowing for them for years. And they literally, like, I made a Facebook post and I was like, hey, it's aeration. It's time to aerate and seed. And they're like, yep, get me on the list. You know, and then I'll just bill them because it's all about relationships. I mean, Brian, you know this. Business and life, it's all about who you know and not what you know. Like that's been said over and over again, but I've experienced it so much in the last year of all I need to know is people, you know? And so just be that local guy, be the professional. I'll give you one quick story. I know I'm supposed to be 30 seconds, but I had a client. We actually just did the aeration yesterday, but we had a conversation about 2 weeks ago. I've been mowing for him for like 8 years now. He said, hey, can you guys, scout my yard, bag it before Friday? True Green, no hate on True Green, but True Green's going to come out and aerate and seed. And I go, hey, yeah, we'll definitely take care of that. You know, whatever. I just want to ask you, how much is that? How much are they charging you? He goes, I'm not sure, but do you have a price? I go, yeah, this is what the price is, like $540 or something.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, they were going to charge me $960. And I go, you want us to do it? He goes, yeah, absolutely. I'll just cancel with them. But it was, you know, I talked to him in person yesterday and I said, I just wanted to ask. I wasn't going to try to sell you anything. I just know the horror stories I've heard. And I know we did the aeration for you last year and we got really, really great results. And he goes, yeah, dude, totally. I just blanked, you know? So sometimes selling isn't, people are busy, dude. Maybe they just forgot about Blake or Brian, you know? And it was a simple reminder of, hey, in the text, I said, hey man, last year, within 11 days, you personally texted me and said, I bet you have a ton of happy customers. And he texted me pictures of all the areas that were filled in that he was worried about. And so for me, in that situation, it was just bringing back up, hey, remember the results that we got for you last year? Let's do that again this year because he had some yard work done. And so it was kind of a mess. But, you know, in that scenario, it wasn't me versus True Green. It was just me reminding the client of the service that we provide and how much we truly care about it. Because if we do a good job on the aeration, it's going to only better our mowing business. You know what I mean? And so for me, dude, I'm just the local guy. I just want to be the professional. I just want to be, I tell this all the time to people and to my customers, anything yard, I want you to call me. Even if I don't do tree trimming, call me, dude. I got buddies in it. But I just, when you think about lawn care or a problem outside, just call me. That I want to be known for that. Even if I don't make $1 on it, if I can help guide them in the right direction, dude, that's a win-win because it'll come back around to me one day, you know, when they need mowing or a service that we provide. So, dude, that's what I'm focused on. Like, I don't want to try to look like a big shot, be a big shot. I just want to be the local guy there to help people.
Love it. Love it. I mean, let me get you on the list is what I heard for maintenance. And then, what's your best transition line for landscaping? Because great story, but what's your best, like, hey, this is a $1,500 prune job. Is it, hey, do you want us to get this on the list as well? Or do you have a different like pivot?
I mean, typically, we're in aeration season. I'll talk about that or mulch. Like, let's say, hey, we have a couple shrubs here and I want new mulch. Can you get me a bid? And typically when I would send it out, I'd say, hey, this is what our schedule looks like. You want me to get you on? We're about 2-3 weeks out or whatever you are, So again, dude, I'm not a car salesman and I'm not a hard sell kind of guy.
Yep.
It's just, if I've just seen best results when I just truly care about helping somebody. Of course I want their business and the money, but like we're focused on the work.
They can tell.
And
they
just
can tell.
providing that. that service. And so, dude, my selling's pretty simple, to be honest. Like, there's no fancy words that I use. It's just like, hey, this is where we're at. If you want me to get on the schedule, there we go. And then if somebody has like like some people call with an event, they're like, hey, in 3 weeks we have a party at the house. Then it's just, hey, let's get it done. Let's get it scheduled right now. You know what I mean?
Love it.
But again, dude, I'm not fancy, bro. I'm sorry. I don't have any like crazy lines.
No, that's good.
I just come from a place like with my heart into it. You know what I mean? Just trying to actually care about people.
I love it, man. Love it. Hey, do you want to get this scheduled, or do you want us to get you on the list? Those are my like two of my top two or three or four, go-to transitions. It's not anything more complicated than that. You want me to get you on the list? Yeah, get us on the list. You want me to get that scheduled? Yeah, we'll get it scheduled. And that is it. So, but your whole rant about building relationships and just being a resource. I heard a guy say once, I want to be the hook you up guy.
Exactly.
I can hook you up with somebody. I know somebody. That's being a great resource in the industry and then in the community, like you said. Dude, awesome. Money. All right, I'm going to let you go. Get out of here, man. Go do your thing. Appreciate you as always, and we'll see you hopefully at Equip or LAL or sooner than later, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Guys.
All right.
Care.
Tell the family we said hey, hi, and bye. We'll see ya. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. So that was Mr. Blake Albertson, B&B Lawn Care. Always a good time checking out what Blake's got going on, and chock full of tips there. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this show. Something a little different. We'll see. Calling up Mr. Growing Green. See if we can get him on the show. If not, awkward chirping silence. You never know what you're going to get. By the way, Jeremiah's number is 586-231-69.
This is Jeremiah.
Oh, hey, what's up, man? I just was reading off your phone number if you didn't pick up. So I'm just going to give the world your cell phone number.
What's up, dude?
Doing good. Coming in hot here, recording a podcast. Wanted to pick your brain. You got 30 seconds?
Yeah, what's up?
All right. So here, just really quick context. A couple weeks ago, I did a podcast. I'm not expecting that you listen to it, but it was talking about not selling. How the consumer today is totally different. If you're a used car salesperson, and I know your sentiment on this, so if somebody tries to sell me, that's the last time you're talking to me. But if you want to be a resource, a value add, build a relationship, help people, like that's the best way to not sell, in my opinion, in this economy. Now, that being said, here's my question for you. As much as not selling is important, you still have to close. So here's my question, both for lawn maintenance or for landscaping. When you have a lead come in and you're maybe going through your sales process and your sales journey, I know you're growing. I know you got a bunch of great stuff going on. You're selling landscape jobs, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 jobs left and right here. For anybody just getting started or maybe just trying to brush up on their sales skills, what is your go-to transition, power move, pivot, XYZ? What do you say to close a job, both for maintenance or landscaping for a new lead?
Oh, man, I don't know that I have a one-stop shop answer for closing per se. I think that the process is what's key here, and I can't relate. I mean, I can't emphasize enough what you said to start. Like, you try to sell me, I'm gone.
Right, sure.
We bought a car and had to go through sales, and I'm just like, no. Like, look, if I want to buy the car, I'll buy the car. I sniff that stuff out, and so I try to make it my goal when I am selling our service and our product that we're going to do it, and we're just going to build a relationship. So my step is, hey, I'm going to be as personable as I can be, and try to just build as much rapport and relationship with the customer as possible. So what that looks like is, on our first initial call, it's calling, it's talking, it's chatting for 5 or 10 minutes, hearing more about their lives, their families, what they got going on, not anything super crazy. And then when we got there onto the property and do the estimate, that's where we really try to really get our, sink our claws in, and try to go home with the deal. And so I'm actually seeing our project right now, as we speak, that we sold and kind of took some of this. And these principles, what we used was sitting here having the conversation, and it just comes down to relationships and relatability. And for us, it was connecting a lady moving into our community, connecting with our local church that we go to. She was looking for one. We made that connection, and then it just one thing goes after the other. You peel back layers, right? You're not going to get it all at once, but peeling back layers of their life, their story. What drives them? What do they care about? Is it their kids? Is it their spouse? Is it their dogs? Because everyone has something different, right? And so as you have those conversations, one, shut up and listen. Don't try to always give in your opinion on something. Let the customer talk. Let them share with you, because I guarantee you, when you get them talking about something that they enjoy, they will do the talking. But the key phrase there is you have to get them talking about something they care about, not what you care about. So I may care about something totally different than my customer, but again, we're trying to add value to them. So for me, it's like build a relationship on the front end during that estimate, and then once we're sending the estimate out, like I usually know one way or the other whether we're going to close it when I leave the job that day or leave the estimate. We'll go home and we'll put the estimate into Element and all that and send it out to the customer. Some of our bigger landscape stuff we're starting to do. I haven't done an in-person presentation yet, but we'll get on the phone, we'll talk through it, things like that on our bigger stuff. But usually it's just like I focus on the relationship when we go out and meet the customer the first time, because first impression is everything. And so that's what I look at when I'm buying something is what was my first impression of the person when I saw them. And so just, again, connecting, finding what's important to them, finding things in common, right? We're working on closing the development right now, and turns out the owner is from our city. He doesn't live here anymore. He lives over in Atlanta. But I was talking on the phone with him. I was like, what do we got to do to get this business here? And then we start talking, and you start just asking, peeling back again, layers at a time. And turns out he knows guys that I play basketball with that are that he never sees anymore. He's like, yeah, I went to high school with them. So we're one step further in than our competition because we made that connection. So extremely long-winded answer to your question there. But to me, it's not just a one-stop thing to close the deal. It's all about building a relationship in the beginning when you're out meeting the customer, doing the initial estimate.
Man, that's awesome. What do you look for? All phenomenal, great stuff. Seriously, awesome. What do you look for? And you said I know pretty much when they're done, they're ready to buy, like we're at the sales process or I left them the estimate. What does that mean to you? Like quantify that for me, somebody who doesn't know.
Yeah, to me, I think it's literally tone, right? It's tone of how they're, how your conversation is going. Are they super excited about their project? What words are they using? And I'm not some psychologist, but I've just picked up as we've had more and more conversation. Is it, yeah, I'll get back to you, or yeah, I'm super excited, send me the estimate, right? There's two ways that they'll answer a question. And so I just try to look and listen to that. And it comes back to listening, right? Like listening is everything. I'm young. I'm 24. When I was 18, I didn't know how to listen to anybody. I always thought I had to get a word in edgewise, and that's been something I've truly tried to work on. And as I've done that, I'm not perfect at it, but I have seen that it makes a difference. And so, truly, just like listening to what they have to say. How are they? What are your parting words? Is it, give me that estimate, I can't wait to hear from you, or yeah, I'll get back with you down the road. And then look at timeline, right? How urgent is the request? Do they want something done before a party? I know you guys up north, like mulch in the spring and heading into graduations. That's what everybody wants. They got a graduation party at the house. They need it done. They need it done tomorrow, right? And so you take that into consideration. Well, and you got to do that in your conversation, right? This is why you peel back layers at a time. You have to ask. You have to learn the questions to ask to figure out what their need is and solve that need and that problem. And then after that, you're just going to tell like how their stance. You've heard people talk about this, but their stance, are their arms crossed, are they open? Are they inviting you into their home? Are you going in? Are you going in their house in the kitchen, hanging out, talking? Are you standing out in the yard? Do they let you in the backyard? Like there's so many different things that you can go super complex down into that I don't even know all the details of. But it's just it's stuff that I'm learning every day, and I think it's just, to me, one of the biggest things is tone and the words they choose when you're ready to head out for from the estimate.
Sure. All great stuff. I mean, you could talk about each one of those topics for another 20 minutes each. I mean, body language, easy. Tone. Yeah. I mean, that's so good. So, if just to land the plane here, I'm going to let you go, but, what's your favorite transition line to get a landscape job scheduled? All things being said.
That's tough.
What do you notice yourself saying the most?
Yeah, I think it sounds kind of simple. A sales guru probably wouldn't tell you this. I think for me, it's literally just been like, so when do you want to do the project, right? Not, you just kind of put that into them. You're asking that. You're manifesting. When do they want it done? Not if they want it done, but when do they want it done? Or You can say, when do you want us to put you on the schedule? That's something that just kind of, it implies to them that you're ready to go. And if they answer with a date or when we were thinking or no hesitancy, then they're most likely going to sign up.
Yep. You know, you got a live one. There you go. Couldn't have said it better, man. That's awesome. That's all I need. That's all I got. I know you're busy going 100 miles an hour. You're probably buying some more freighters worth of China dingoes and excavators and everything you got going on. Jeremiah himself is going to make the trade deficit for the tariffs. Just happened in 2025 for everybody. But anyway, shout out to you, brother. Proud of you. That's all I got. I'll let you go. I know you're busy, but great answers, man. And I know you're in got the smoke of battle all over you, figuring all this stuff out, getting your reps in. So great answers and great job. We'll let you go, man. But we'll catch up with you soon, all right?
Sounds good, dude. See y'all.
All right. See you, bud. Okay. All right, so we're going to transition over to Mr. Jeremy Connect. So many great things that you guys can take from that phone call as well. Tone, body language. I love the idea of, are you being invited into the house? Are you being invited to the backyard? There's a lot there with that kind of stuff. So that's how you know when you're actually building a relationship, when people are opening up in that regard. So we got...
Hey, Brian.
Mr. Jeremy, how we doing, brother?
What's happening?
Hey, doing good, man. Live on the podcast. You're... another one of my guests that I'm trying to pick the brain of today. You got 30 seconds for a quick question?
Oh, man, you must be at the bottom of the barrel.
No, you're like top 3 over here, bro. So you're actually doing pretty good.
All right, fire away.
There you go. First off, Jeremy Connect, JJ Grounds, awesome dude. One of my favorite people to talk to. I don't get to spend enough time with him on the phone or in person, but somebody I absolutely love and admire everything that he's putting together. Jeremy, really quick, here's the question. Here's what we're talking about on the podcast. A couple weeks ago, I did a podcast talking about not selling is selling in today's world. Nobody likes the pushy car sales guy, whether it's maintenance or landscape. Nobody wants to get sold on something. So my philosophy is build a friendship, build a relationship, be an advisor, help somebody. And then once they feel comfortable, they're going to likely buy from you. That's my philosophy. Outside of that, though, you still do need to close and you still need to basically ask for the sale. Like you can not sell, but you still have to close. And so I know you've got a great business. You got a great company. You've been doing this for a long time. So here's my quick question for a lot of folks just getting started in the industry and trying to figure this thing out. What are some of your go-to sales closing lines when you're trying to close the sale, whether sign up a lawn landscaping client, maintenance client, or trying to sell and close a landscaping client? What, if you don't mind me asking, what are some of your go-to closing lines to lock a customer in?
Yep. So I would say in our area, if you can turn around a quote within 24 to 48 hours,
huge.
Present that, and then say, basically, I say this: hey, can we plan on putting you on our schedule for next week if it's a mowing job? If it's a cleanup or something like that, I'll say, hey, can we plan on working you in the next 2 weeks? And basically, that was the expectations that they had when they came to me. They were asking. I said, hey, what's your timeline? And they said, we'd like to be mowed next week, or we'd like our cleanup to be done in a couple weeks. And so then I will repeat that expectation that they had in my cell and say, hey, can we plan on carrying out this service in the next 2 weeks? Because that's what they were asking for in the first place. And a lot of times, it's like this realization to them that this is exactly what they wanted. They were looking for, a quote in a certain time. I delivered everything, and basically they just have to say, yes, let's do it. And at that point, a lot of times they're just they're done researching, they're done, contacting contractors, and they just want it done. And so if you can just use that line, hey, can we schedule you for next week when the crew's by your neighborhood? And they're just like, yep, go ahead and plan on it. And that works about every time.
I love it. Where do you, you've got a great perspective on so many things. Great answer, by the way. And I say this just because you have such a growing organization, a lot of folks, a lot of customers. Where do people, in our boat, our position, our shoes, guys like me and yous and people listening, where do people mess it up the most? Where do you see people making rookie mistakes? Or what's a rookie mistake you made for a long time, maybe in your sales process?
Yeah, so probably just the upsell. I mean, maybe if as a business looking too far outside of my existing customers, when in realization I could make $500,000 with my existing customers and just selling them more services.
Sure.
And I think the biggest mistake is when guys look too far beyond what they already have as a customer base. And they maybe look into another neighborhood that looks enticing because everybody got irrigated lawns, and maybe they try reaching out and no one knows them there. No one has heard of them ever before. And they spend a lot of time and resources trying to chase that. Whereas it's for a lot of guys, if you have a few yards, or if you've got a lot of yards, you can just work with those existing customers, upsell, say, hey, your brick edging is going every which way. It looks like it's been 20 years since it's been touched or whatever. How about I work you up a quote to put new, mortar brick edge around your house or something? I mean, I feel like the sells are there. You just have to capitalize on them. And that's probably the biggest mistake I see is guys trying to go, into areas that aren't even in their district to try to chase a sell when really they've got them in their existing customers.
Yeah, I love that. I heard somebody say, maybe you can agree or disagree, but I heard somebody say the best person to sell something to is somebody who just sold something to. So
yeah, and it's so true. We just got done. We did a landscape for a guy here in town. It was a nice, almost $30,000 re-landscape of his landscape, and then he called me back and he's like, hey, I got some work out at the farm, and I'm drawing up like $100,000 landscape for around his, shouse out at the farm. And it's, and the thing was this spring, all he wanted us to do was take out some bushes. He didn't even want us to replant. And I upsold him and said, hey, if I do a 3D rendering for you, you think you'd be interested in re-landscaping the front of your house? And so if I wouldn't have said that, he just wanted us to pull out some bushes and call it a day. So we kind of turned like a, $300 project into a $130,000 one if we get all that.
That's the line of the show right there. But if you didn't ask, right, he would never maybe have went with you. He didn't know what your capacity was, or who knows, right?
Yeah, and I think I don't know. We're so small, and our vision is so small, and our bank accounts, we don't understand like what a lot of these people are living in and how much they have to work with. For me, I looked at this place. I'm like, I don't know if he's going to go with this, $30,000 landscape. And it's just, they see it, they see the potential and what their lawn could look like and what their landscape could look like. And they're like, go with it. And they don't even blink. Whereas me, like, I'm not going to spend $30,000 on my landscape at this point in my life. And I think a lot of us are the same way. And then out at his farm, you walk around, you see the machinery sitting around. I had no idea this guy was a huge farmer like this. And he's got, $300,000 combines and $70,000, $80,000 pickup trucks just sitting around. It's like, okay, yeah, this is it's a good customer to work for, but sometimes we can't relate. So we're scared to ask big things to those people.
Man, that's such a good point. I mean, total tangent, but so true in that sales process. I remember Greg Wittstock championing that a while back. He said, never put the value on a dollar bill that your customer would or wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to drop $30,000. This is what you do for a living. But somebody else, like $30,000, that's a steal, or that's a good price.
Right?
So good, so good. Hey, again, I don't want to be an expensive date on this phone call, so I will. I'm always so grateful to talk to you. I hope you guys are having a great season. We'll see you hopefully at Equip Expo or LAL. I'm sure I'll connect with you at least one of them, right?
Yeah. Well, we got to see what we end up doing. We might not be at Expo this year, but we'll just see how it works out. But I appreciate the phone call, Brian.
Of course.
Appreciate watching your content, listen to your podcast. You do a great job.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate that. Well, hey, tell the rest of the family said hey. Tell Kelsey who said hey. Hope you guys in the family are doing well, and we'll connect with you soon. All right, brother?
Will do. Thanks so much, Brian.
Okay, you bet, bud. Stay out of trouble. See ya.
All right. Goodbye.
All right, guys. So there you go. Another quick phone call there with Jeremy Connect, and hope you guys are enjoying this. First off, love just getting to pick the brain of a couple of these great business owners. The sales process, again, I've worked with a couple of people recently where I've been talking to them about their closing ratios and just closing in general. And one thing I'll tell you guys too, another quick line I heard is a funny one, and I'm sure there's about 100 tips in this podcast, so you can definitely listen to it again, was, if you think you're really, really good at selling, try raising your price a little bit and see if you're that good at selling or if you're just that low priced, right? If you're getting 10 out of 10 quotes and bids, then you're probably a little underpriced. If you're closing 1 in 10, you might be a little overpriced, right? And so if you're closing between 3 and 5 of your 10 bids, 30 to 50%, then you're probably in the right ballpark of where you need to be, okay? So just some quick tips there. Jeremy had some great ones. Jeremiah had some great ones. Blake Albertson had some great ones. So let's do this really quick. I'm looking at the list here of some other folks that I'm going to give a quick buzz to, and then we'll probably wrap this thing up. Let me see who we can go to next here, and let's see if we actually get the man, the myth, the legend, or if we get stonewalled with the crickets. All right, so picking up on line 1, we got Mr. Keith Kalfas. How we doing, brother?
What's up, Brian?
Hey, it's good hearing from you, man. How you been?
Dude, awesome, man. We're crushing it landscaping. The weather's beautiful. We could use a little bit more rain. We're shooting a lot of videos, man. We're doing a tour. I'm excited about Entrepreneur Academy. Crushing it.
Dude, I was going to say, it's been a minute since I got to connect with you on the phone. Probably about 2-3 months. I know we get to touch base a couple times a year. Not as much as I'd love, no doubt about that. But when's the next time we're going to film some videos, man? I got to get out there with you and let's go shoot some content. I can't wait. First off, super excited about having you join us in Novi, Michigan in about 6 weeks. November 2nd, Novi, Michigan, Entrepreneur Academy Live. Last minute ad, we secured him. He's coming in. Super excited about that, Mr. Keith Kalfas. You excited about sharing again, brother?
I'm very excited, bro. I'm pumped up. I already know what we're going to talk about.
To hear the rest of Brian's conversation with Keith and another special guest, make sure to come back for Wednesday's show where there's plenty more on this topic of educating customers and then asking for the sale, plus more helpful sales techniques so that you can master this process and grow your bottom line. I'm Mr. Producer. Keep listening as we have some bonus content headed your way on the tail end of today's recording.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production. This is the Branded Bull Podcast, a show dedicated to helping take your business to the next level with winning marketing and branding tips and strategies built for today's competitive world. Ready for your business to make its mark and stand out from the competition? Let's get into it.
Hey guys, Adam Fullerton here with the Branded Bull Podcast, where we're all things marketing and branding tips and advice and sharing great content with you guys so that you can grow your small business, stand out from the competition, and make your mark. In the studio with me today is my brother, Brian Fullerton. Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I love this topic that we're going to be talking about today. I'm going through it. Go figure, small business owner. We run a lawn landscape company, and folks, imagery and branding and marketing and vehicle wraps and trailer wraps. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys have a small business out there, you know how much signage and getting the word out there, how important it all is. So it's going to be a really good, fun topic today.
Yeah. So let's jump into it. You let the cat out of the bag. We're going to talk about wraps for vehicles, for trucks, for trailers, and the importance and the impact that it can really have on your business. You're receiving more visibility, more impressions, more visits to your website, and ultimately more customers. So one of the big things that we talk about, right, is professional branding, and how you have this tool that you might be using for your business every single day. Drive around town to different jobs, meaning multiple jobs, right? Hours and hours sitting in a neighborhood while you're working on a lawn or, fixing a toilet or doing a driveway, whatever it might be based on your business. But you have this object, this trailer, this truck, and it's a billboard. It's a moving billboard. So, Brian, you're going through this with your business. What is the importance of a trailer wrap, of a vehicle wrap to you?
Well, I mean, number one, it's talk about a comprehensive marketing strategy, right? Like you said, if you're on social media, and then you've got the, it's like a V8 engine, right? You guys have heard me say that on the show before. You got the social media going, you got the great website, you got your Google listing, you got your Google reviews, you've got, your postcards or your yard signs across town. But this is a V8 engine. You don't want to have a cylinder misfiring, right? Anybody ever have a clunky old car where you have a cylinder not firing correctly? Well, I've been there in my past life. It's a choppy ride, right? So what you want to do is make sure everything's hitting on all 8 cylinders. Well, vehicle wraps are part of that engine. It's a rolling billboard to go down the road. Now, I've got 2 philosophies on that. One is do them, and the other one is be smart about them. I think having your vehicles is a no-brainer, but you have to be prudent. It does require a different level of self-awareness, right? You have a wrapped vehicle. You can't be cutting people off. You can't be speeding. You can't be whipping around corners or giving somebody the bird or, when you come to a zipper. We actually had somebody leave us a 1-star review because my truck and trailer were at a zipper with 2 roads meeting and for a construction zone. And my guys blocked the lane and we got a 1-star review. Look at these assholes blocking the road. I'm like, hey, dude, we're just tired of people passing us, be a decent human being. So thankfully, Google actually removed that listing because it was quote unquote off topic. Praise the Lord. So there is a little bit of an element of that. But number one, here's my philosophy when it comes to vehicle wraps. You already paid $55,000 for your truck or your transit van. Why not go spend $500 to $2,500 getting it vinyled or signed signage? Number 2, and I'll let you speak on some of the other nuances, Adam, but sometimes there's the philosophy of you have to have a wrap or die. I'm not that guy. I think if you can have Bob Smith Plumbing or Robert E. Smith Plumbing in vinyl lettering and it's $400, I think that's fine. If you want to go all in and have that image in that full wrap and all of your vehicles are totally all in and it's $5,000, dude, that's awesome. Maybe as your company gets bigger and you have more cash to reinvest, but I don't think you have to exclusively do a $3,000 trailer wrap or a $3,000 truck wrap to have signage or have that mobile billboard you're talking about. Sometimes less is more, so there's something to evaluate both with your cash flow and also the image you're trying to portray. So those are my 2 thoughts. I think it's a great idea. Besides doing quality work and having a good website and all that mess, we do pick up a lot of business from people saying, hey, I see your truck and trailer around town. I see all of your crews and trailers around town. And I'm thinking, we have 2 trailers. It's not that big of a deal, but it makes it look like we're that multi-million-dollar business. So
it definitely helps you stand out in the marketplace. And it's just a part of the marketing plan. It's just one more way you can broadcast the message if you're trying to grow the business and attract more clients. Use that big billboard you're driving around all day. And like you said, Brian, I agree. It could be something small or it could be something full scale. Depends on your budget and what your goals are. But something is typically better than nothing, especially if you're trying to grow the business and, again, attract those customers. Use it. And if you guys need help with any of that stuff, any of those topics or conversations, questions, you guys need some graphic design help for a wrap, let us know. Hit us up. Go to brandedbull.com. Check out what we're doing and what we're up to. So that said, if you guys like what you heard on this episode, please consider leaving a 5-star review. If you guys do need help, like I said, go to our website, shoot us a message on Instagram or any other social media platform. And as always, we love sharing this content, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Branded Bull Podcast, the podcast dedicated to giving you expert advice and actionable ideas so that your business can make its mark and stand out from the competition. Like what you heard in today's show? Visit brandedbull.com to see how we can help you achieve your marketing and branding goals. Also, please consider leaving a 5-star review. And again, thanks for listening.